You ever scroll through the algorithm and just think, is this it? All the shiny pictures, the likes?
Yeah, it can feel a bit hollow sometimes, right? Like you're chasing digital dust bunnies.
Totally. We're all craving something more, I think, that genuine connection, actual growth online.
Hmm. Real substance.
So today, that's our focus. We're
Yeah.
diving deep into Instagram to, cut through that noise. How do you build a real organic presence?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right. Now, really quickly, if you're looking to perhaps amplify things, maybe get a faster signal boost, you might have seen sites like rapidboost.net. They're out there offering ways to boost profiles.
They are an option people look at, sure. Tools exist.
But, and this is the core of our deep dive today, using some really solid materials we've gathered. We're focused on the bedrock, the principles for genuine lasting success.
Yep.
The stuff that actually works long term.
Exactly. Forget the quick fixes for now. It's about cultivating something sustainable. And the cornerstone of that really seems to be understanding the Instagram algorithm.
Ugh, the algorithm, the big mystery.
Well, maybe not so mysterious. Instead of seeing it as this, like, roadblock, it's probably more helpful to think of it as a curator, a sophisticated filter.
A curator. Okay, so it's trying to show people relevant stuff.
Precisely. It's constantly learning what kind of content resonates with each user.
Okay, so this curator, this algorithm, how does it actually decide what pops up in our feeds and stories then? What's it looking for?
What's really interesting here, based on our sources, is its focus on your existing connections. It heavily prioritizes content from accounts you already interact with a lot.
Right, the people you already like and comment on.
Exactly. Likes, comments, DMs, even just visiting someone's profile or saving their posts, those are all signals. Strong signals.
So meaningful interaction is basically the currency.
You got it. The more genuine your engagement with your current followers, the more likely your next post is going to land in their feed.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Instagram wants us to see more of what we already, seem to like.
Mm.
But what about reaching new people? That's the growth part.
Mm.
Explore page, Reels,
Mm-hmm.
they feel different.
They are different. Think of the Explore page and the Reels tab as Instagram's main discovery engines. That's where the roles shift a bit.
How so?
Well, it's less about just your existing network there. Instagram's AI gets more involved, looking at broader signals like the topic of your content, how long people watch your real overall engagement trends.
Okay.
And it uses all that to predict what might grab someone new, someone who doesn't follow you yet. That's your big chance to expand your reach.
So it's not just about putting out good stuff and crossing your fingers. Timing matters, too.
Yeah.
So the sources mentioned engagement triggers. What are those?
Yeah, this is crucial. It's about when people engage after you post. Our sources really highlight that a quick burst of interaction, likes, comments, shares, saves, right after you publish something. That sends a really strong positive signal to the algorithm. It basically says, hey, this content is hitting the mark, show it to more people.
Ah, okay. So that initial hour or so is pretty important.
Very important. And that's why genuinely encouraging interaction, like asking real questions in your captions, not just, comment below.
Right, not engagement bait.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then responding quickly to comments, especially in that first window, that can seriously boost your reach.
And there was that example, the boutique jewelry brand. That showed this really clearly, didn't it?
Yes, a great illustration of this recency plus activity thing. They basically just get more consistent with posting and made a real effort to reply to comments within the first hour.
And the result.
A 35% jump in reach just from that. It really drives home how much that early engagement matters.
Wow, okay. So nail the timing, get those early interactions. Got it. Now let's talk about the actual stuff we post. The content needs to be magnetic, according to the sources. What makes content magnetic on Instagram?
Well, think about what the algorithm wants. Engagement. So magnetic content is the stuff that stops the scroll, makes people pause, react, maybe share it, or even save it for later.
Right, not just scroll past.
Exactly. It's about crafting something visually and narratively compelling. And a big piece of that is having a clear visual style.
Like a brand look.
Yeah, your visual signature. Consistent colors, editing style, how you compose your shots. It makes your stuff instantly recognizable in a crowded feed. Could be minimalist white, could be super vibrant, whatever fits your brand.
Makes sense. Visual consistency is key for recognition. But it's not just the pretty pictures, is it? Captions matter too, right? For connection.
Oh, absolutely. Captions are prime real estate for storytelling. Share those behind-the-scenes moments. Build emotional bridges by talking about shared struggles or wins.
Humanize the brand.
Precisely. And directly invite people into the conversation. You can even use basic story principles, problem, solution, takeaway to make your captions more engaging.
Okay, and what about specific types of content? What seems to work best for getting those valuable shares and saves that the algorithm loves?
Our sources point to a few things. One interesting idea is value stacks, especially using carousel posts.
Value stacks.
Yeah, like mini guides, a series of tips, a step-by-step tutorial breaking down a process, stuff people genuinely find useful and want to save or pass along.
Like actionable content.
Exactly. Also, short-form video reels especially are huge for discovery. They're dynamic, often entertaining, grab attention fast.
Reels are everywhere now.
They really are. And don't underestimate authentic behind-the-scenes stuff. It builds trust, makes you seem more human, more relatable.
So, to get shares and saves, think, does this solve a problem? Inspire someone, entertain them.
That's the core question. And designing content with that utility in mind, like making an infographic or a checklist people will want to keep, that's a smart way to drive saves.
Okay, algorithm, check. Magnetic content, check.
Now, Instagram has so many features beyond just feed posts. How do we leverage that whole toolkit for growth?
Good point. It's way more than just static photos these days. You really need to use the whole range. Reels, as we said, are massive for discovery. The user numbers in 2024 are just staggering.
So experiment with Reels.
Definitely. Jump on trends, but give them your own spin. Play with different lengths. See what your audience responds to.
What about stories? They feel more casual.
They are, and that's their strength. Great for real-time engagement.
Yeah.
Use those interactive stickers, polls, questions, quizzes. Get people involved.
Like mini conversations.
Exactly. And that add your sticker. Surprisingly powerful for starting little community trends and building connection around a shared idea.
Okay, and going live, that feels a bit scary for some people. What's the upside?
It can be intimidating, yeah.
Yeah.
But live video offers this unfiltered connection. You often get bumped up in the stories feed, more visibility, great for Q&As, live demos, virtual tours.
Builds community?
Big time. Just make sure you promote it beforehand so people actually know to show up.
Right, and guides,
Yeah.
highlights, how do they fit in?
Think of guides as your curated collections of best stuff, like all your top tips on one topic, easy to find. Highlights let you pin your most important stories, your brand story. FAQs, product features right on your profile. Super useful for new visitors.
And collaborations.
Huge potential there. Partnering with other relevant creators or brands to co-create content, it exposes you to their audience, and vice versa. Win-win.
There was also that pro tip about jumping on new Instagram features early.
Ah, yes, that's a savvy point. The thinking is, when Instagram rolls out something new, they want people to use it. So accounts that adopt those features early might get a little organic reach boost as a reward.
Interesting. So it pays to be an early adopter sometimes.
It can, yeah. Worth experimenting when new features drop.
Okay, so we're using the features, reaching people, making good content. But how do we turn that into a real, lasting community? That feels like the ultimate goal, beyond just numbers.
You've absolutely hit it. Organic growth isn't just collecting followers, it's about relationships. Nurturing a genuine community is fundamental.
And how does that start?
It starts with the basics, honestly. Replying thoughtfully to comments. Paying attention to your DMs not just for problems, but for feedback, ideas, connection.
Those little interactions add up.
They really do. They turn casual viewers into actual fans, even advocates for your brand. It shows you're listening.
So it's moving from just broadcasting out to actually having conversations.
Precisely. Use stories Q&As to actually chat with people. Run user-generated content campaigns. Ask your audience to share their experiences related to your niche.
Like making them part of the story.
Exactly. Maybe even do an Instagram takeover with a partner lets a fresh voice speak to your audience and vice versa.
User-generated content, UGC you mentioned. Why is that so powerful?
Because it's real social proof. When your followers create content featuring you or using your hashtag, it's authentic. It's credible in a way polished marketing sometimes isn't.
Like word of mouth, but visual.
Pretty much. It turns customers into advocates. So encourage people to tag you, use your hashtag, then feature their stuff. It builds that community vibe.
And what about influencers? The sources mention focusing more on micro-influencers.
Yeah, this is interesting. Mega influencers have huge reach, but micro-influencers often have much higher engagement rates within their specific niche.
More targeted.
Exactly. They have a really loyal, engaged following that trusts their recommendations. Partnering with them can bring in more relevant followers and feel more authentic than a big celebrity endorsement.
Makes sense. And we had another case study here, right? The sustainable fashion label and their challenge.
Yes. The hashtag My Eco Style Challenge, brilliant example. They asked followers to share their eco-friendly outfits using the hashtag. Then they featured submissions on their page. It wasn't just about getting content, it doubled their engagement and basically turned followers into brand ambassadors. Huge organic amplification through community power.
Love that. Okay, so community building is key. But how do we know if all this effort, the content, the engagement, the community stuff is actually working? Analytics time.
You guessed it. Sustainable growth needs feedback. You need data to refine your strategy. It's not set it and forget it.
So what should we be looking at in Instagram Insights?
Start with the basics. Profile visits, reach, saves, shares, those bigness. Tell you what content is resonating. Click-through rates on links are important if you're driving traffic.
Identifying top posts, best times to post.
Exactly. See what formats work best for your audience. Is it carousels? Is it reels? When are they most active? Insights gives you that starting point.
But it's not just watching the numbers, right? It's about testing things.
Absolutely. Think like a scientist, kind of. Run little A/B tests. Try different caption links, different visuals, different formats, maybe educational carousels one week, BTS videos the next.
And see what performs better.
Precisely. Test posting times, too. Then use that data to make small adjustments, iterate, optimize.
Consistency keeps coming up, too. The content calendar idea.
Yes, crucial. Posting randomly makes it hard to build momentum. A content calendar helps you plan, maybe even batch create content.
So you're not scrambling for ideas every day.
Right, and you can plan around themes, holidays, trends. It ensures a steady flow, keeps you top of mind.
And looking at what competitors or leaders in this space are doing. Is that helpful?
Definitely worth paying attention. See what's working for successful accounts in your niche. What posts get tons of engagement? How do they interact?
But don't just copy them.
No, absolutely not. Adapt the insights authentically. What can you learn from their strategy that fits your brand and your audience? Make it your own.
And are there tools beyond Instagram's own analytics that can help with all this?
Oh yeah, several good ones. Tools like Later, Planoly, Buffer are great for scheduling and planning.
Yeah.
Social Blade, Iconosquare offer deeper analytics. They can give you more detailed insights and streamline the whole process.
Okay, wow. We've covered a ton. Algorithm, content, features, community, analytics. Let's try and boil this down. What are the concrete, actionable steps someone listening right now can take?
Right, let's make it practical. First step, audit your profile. Look at your bio, profile pic, highlights, your recent posts. Is it crystal clear who you are and what value you offer?
Get the foundation right.
Exactly. Second, define maybe 3 to 5 core content pillars. Themes you'll consistently talk about. Keeps you focused and on brand. Like expert tips, case studies, behind the scenes, whatever fits.
Okay. Pillars. Then?
Update your posting strategy. Aim for consistency maybe 3-5 times a week. Mix up formats, posts, stories, reels, and try batch creating content to save time.
Makes sense. And the engagement piece.
Non-negotiable. Prioritize daily engagement. Spend time replying to comments, DMs. Engage with your follower stuff too. Participate in relevant hashtag conversations. Be present.
Build those relationships daily.
Yes. Then track your analytics weekly. Spot the trends. See what's working, what's not. Adjust accordingly.
Data informs decisions.
Always. And finally, experiment. Try new features. Test collaborations. Launch little campaigns. Organic growth is iterative. Revisit your strategy every few months. Tweak it based on results.
It really sounds like there's no magic bullet, is there?
Not really. It's about consistent effort, genuinely providing value, and making those real human connections. That's what builds something lasting.
So we've gone through understanding the algorithm, making great content, using all the tools, building community, using data. It's a whole ecosystem.
It really is. And like our sources show, every single meaningful interaction, every saved post, every loyal follower that comes from doing the work, intentional, creatively, and using the data. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
But the payoff is real connection and sustainable growth.
Definitely worth the effort in the long run. Deeper connections, stronger loyalty, real success.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. As you look at your own Instagram, what's the unique value you bring? And thinking about everything we discussed, what's the first single step you can take today to start building more of those meaningful connections?
That's the perfect place to start, that one next step.